I don't know if y'all can even see me, but I can see you when you're not smiling because your guides tell on you, honey. So before you receive this reading today, give me a smile, darling, even if it's for half a moment. Hey, girl. Hello, my beautiful Gemini. How are you doing, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today I'm going to be getting into your weekly tarot messages, darling, for September 2021. So if you find any tarot cards that resonate with you in this weekly reading today, Gemini, be sure to let me know in the comments below which cards resonate with you and how they do, darling, because that is how I keep up with you guys, is through the comments. As well, if you do enjoy this tarot reading today, or you just enjoy my vibe, Gemini, I would really appreciate it if you were to give this video a like and subscribe, because it does help me out a lot. And I always appreciate it when you guys do that extra step to support me, Gemini. But remember, darling, I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you, Gemini, so take the cards that resonate, leave what doesn't, because I'm not going to be offended by it whatsoever. I believe tarot cards are just here to give you some food for thought, a perspective for you to be considering as you go throughout your day today, Gemini, but never making the choices in your life. So, all that being said, let's just jump into your weekly tarot reading, Gemini, for September 2021. Remember, I also did your monthly tarot reading for September, which I'll leave a link to somewhere around here for you to check out if you haven't seen it already, Gemini. But let's just jump into your tarot reading, your weekly tarot reading today. Now, I already showed you guys the Knight of Swords that came out, followed by the Ace of Swords, darling. And then we have the Strength card coming in here, baby. What's going on? And the Page of Swords in the back of the deck. A lot of swords energy, a lot of your energy, Gemini. Very interesting. So how do we want to take this, Gemini? I actually like this a lot, especially with the Knight of Swords here. I see the Knight of Swords as you at this time, and you'll notice with the Knight of Swords, this individual is holding a sword right here, and I like to see this as the Ace of Swords right now, currently for you. It's funny because the Libra got the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups in their reading, so I just really enjoy that complementariness. But I digress. This is all about you, darling. So with this Knight of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Strength card, I see you guys making a hard decision, but I see this really being profitable for you, Gemini. I see you guys taking a risk with something, or at the very least, you're building up to this point, right? Because sword energy is air energy. I almost called you Libra, Gemini, right? So this really could just be air energy. Sword energy is really dealing with the mental, with the psyche. And so where I'm seeing this as, some of you guys actually, I just heard building up courage. So you guys may be building up courage to be going out and taking a risk with something and doing something. So something I want to point out to you, Gemini, is that with the Ace of Swords here, I want you to think of the Ace of Swords as kind of like the Trump card, darling. Not the president, girl, or the ex-president. Let's not get political, baby, but with this card, it's like you can't lose when you have the Ace of Swords, right? That's the card, like you slap that card down and it's just like, oh, all right, and like, let Gemini have the table, right? So I see this as like a situation of where it's like, while at this current time it looks risky, right? Obviously, it's like your life, and risk is always involved when it comes to taking action on things, but with the Ace of Swords, it's a win-win kind of situation for you. And if you were to take this risk, the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight, right? Out of all the knights. And so that's like the benefit it has. There is a downside with the Knight of Swords of where it's just like the Knight of Swords, its movement is very much so reliant on where the individual, or how the knight's is mentally at, right? So I very much see this as a situation for you, Gemini, where you can be making a lot of progress forward into your path towards your objective if you have the right mindset, if you continue this with confidence. But at the same time, I see you could go backwards quite a bit as well, if depending on just like your perspective on this, and depending on like how confident you're feeling in regards to this, right? So this could be in regards to a multitude of things, right? Gemini, this is all about your objective. For many of you guys, I do feel as if the Fool card coming out, this is really about making some drastic changes in your life, right? Starting something entirely fresh. I wouldn't be surprised, Gemini, if some of you guys are really contemplating on starting a new job, starting a new project, or even engaging with a new person. But I really feel like it's more so speaking in terms of like some type of activity for you, Gemini, that you're kind of warming up to the idea of. Queen of Pentacles, yeah, this is definitely in terms of activity for you guys, something that's a lot better for yourself personally. We have here the Queen of Cups. All right, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Can we get a Queen of Wands, baby? Can we get a Queen of Wands? Girl, come on. We didn't get no Queen of Wands. We got a Queen of Swords, baby. What's up? So we just got all three. We got three queens here. We just need Queen of Wands for you to get all the queens. So this is very much so. I like this a lot, Gemini. I really do. This is showcasing to me whatever this is that you're contemplating or building up the courage in doing, Gemini. This is something that's going to be so good for you, and you alone. So this kind of leads me to question, Gemini, what's giving you the reservations, right? Is this like an issue where it's like, you're not used to just doing these actions that's just good for you? You're used to being a people pleaser and just pleasing other people? Or what is the tea here? And this would make sense with the Queen of Cups here, that you're kind of concerned about how other people's feelings. And Gemini, this is coming from someone that is very much so a people pleaser, so don't feel as if I'm speaking from a pedestal whatsoever, darling. But this is kind of a situation that it's your time to shine, Gemini. This is a situation where you have to start living your life for yourself. With the Queen of Cups here, she's holding a trophy here, and usually people will, I don't feel like a lot of tarot readers will clock this with Queen of Cups. They'll just like instantly talk about how the Queen of Cups is just holding a cup, but in actuality, this is her holding a trophy, and she's focused in on her goal, right? And then because this is under the Ace of Swords, this is showcasing to me where it's like you need to keep your eye on the prize, Gemini. You need to continue. I feel as if some of you Geminis need to continuously remind yourself as to why you're doing the actions that you're doing at this current point in time, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. There's a theme here, even with the Queen of Pentacles as well. She's focused in on her pentacle, right? This is all about you, Gemini. I feel like I feel like I even said this for one of your previous weekly readings, where it's just like, I sensed for you guys starting to like turn to this way of putting yourself as the focus. Queen of Swords is a situation of where because it's under the Strength card, this is showcasing to me a situation where you have to be okay, Gemini. You have to kind of work through this internal struggle that you might be having of not being a people pleaser, of like upsetting some people, and not making yourself as available just for your own betterment, Gemini. I do see some of you guys releasing some type of energy that's not for you. Maybe you're in a job or a situation that it just isn't enough, because I just heard the words, it's not enough, right? And that may be like the main issue that you guys will have been having, Gemini, is that the situation, while it's like you enjoy being in this dynamic, but it's just not, I just get this weird feeling that it's just not fulfilling you, or it's just not hitting where it needs to hit, darling. It's not giving what it needs to give, baby, essentially for you. And so for many of you Geminis, I do see this as a sense of where your brain has started to go into this narrative of being like, oh, do I need to move away from this? But then I can't help but feel like I'm being shown devil and angel on the shoulder, where it's like you end up having the devils like speaking to you and being like, almost just being very self-deprecating, being like, oh, Gemini, like, why are you being selfish, Gemini? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Very interesting. We have the World card coming in here under the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. We also have the Wheel of Fortune coming in under your Ace of Swords and your Queen of Cups, Gemini. And then finally, we have the Five of Swords under the Strength card and the Queen of Swords. So, so Gemini, I do definitely feel as if I'm really speaking to a Gemini that really does need to walk away from a situation. They need to walk away from a situation before it gets much worse. And I don't like sounding ominous, because I feel like tarot readings should never be bringing forth anxiety. And hopefully this doesn't for you as well. But I just get this very strong message, Gemini, of where it's like, if you don't cut yourself off from a situation that just isn't good for you, or just isn't as fulfilling as it could be for you, I just see it getting worse. I have to be honest here. I see it getting worse for you. This Five of Swords here, being with the World card and the Wheel of Fortune, this is quite literally the situation where it's like, if you continue fighting with this cycle, and refusing to let it go, right? Trying to make something last for more than just a season in your life, Gemini, I feel like it's just going to lead to more heartbreak and more disappointment for you. And so what I mean by this is that, like, because the situation, like when something has run its course, Gemini, you can delay it for a little bit, darling, but Spirit's going to make this, like, if it's time for it to go, darling, it's time for it to go. And if you fight it, Spirit's going to make you more uncomfortable, make the situation more and more uncomfortable, bring you more and more discomfort until you finally make the choice to do that. And so with this Wheel of Fortune here, it's kind of like a heads up from your spirit guides and being like, hey, Gemini, if you don't do this decision, if you don't make the action, if you don't take action for yourself in this regard, we're going to take the action for you, baby. We're going to, so take this as you will, Gemini. Right, I don't want this to come off as like when I say stuff like this with some people, some zodiac signs will just be like, oh, why are my guides? Why is the universe trying to hurt me? What have you. It's really not the case, Gemini. Really is, when it comes to the universe or its spirit guides, whatever it is you subscribe to, they're trying to take you to a place. You may not see where it is they're trying to take you to immediately, but it's not your job to know. Your job is just to listen to the universe and just go with the flow. We have the Chameleon card that came forward for you, Gemini. So this card says, stay in the background and adapt to the situation rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. So what was I just saying, Gemini, where it's like quite literally just like let go and let God. Stop fighting things. If you have noticed, Gemini, that you've been dealing with a lot of blockages, a lot of obstacles, just a lot of discomfort in your life, take that as a sign of redirection, Gemini. Like, you're not going to be like, what's gonna be is gonna be, baby, right? And it's kind of out of your hands, Gemini. It's weird because I'm being shown the dream. I've been having weird dreams recently, Gemini, and I'm being shown the dream that I had this morning or last night, I suppose, Gemini. And basically, the dream was about, for me, where there's just like a catastrophic event going on. It's like a major tropical storm or like hurricane going on, which also, Gemini, if you are the direct impact of Hurricane Ida or in Louisiana, my prayers, my love is going out to you. But my dream was about that. And in the dream itself was I had the choice in protecting my own self and getting cover, or I could have like continued staying with this group of people who were kind of just self-sabotaging, right? They're in the direct impact of this storm and putting their life in danger. And I didn't want to, initially I was having this internal struggle of walking away from them and being like, all right, well, if y'all want to choose this, even though I knew what would happen to them, I had to be at peace with that and be like, you know what, they're making their own choices. And so I do feel as if, enough about me talking about my dreams, Gemini, I do feel like there's a reason as to why that was shown, in that, for some of you Geminis, you just have to be at peace with, if someone's kind of self-sabotaging, if this is involving a person, or if you see something going downhill, you do not need to be the savior. You do not need to be the one to alert the town, if that makes sense, Gemini. You need to cover your bases first, and then look after other people, right? You know how, if you ever rode a plane, how everyone will tell you, like, put on your oxygen mask first before you help other people. That's how I want you to think about your life at this time. That's not you being selfish. That's not you being any type of way, Gemini. That's self-preservation, darling. Self-preservation, and allow natural selection to happen, right? You cannot fight natural selection, baby. You cannot argue with natural selection. Things are gonna happen, baby. So Gemini, let's get into your spirit guide messages, your ancestral messages for this week. All right, we got the 3 already. We have the Ace of Cups coming in here with the Page of Wands. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Did I just say how Libra had the Knight and Ace of Cups with you, and how you had the Knight and Ace of Swords? I like this a lot. So Gemini, really quite, this is a setup of where your spirit guides, as I was saying before, are trying to set you up with something. They're trying to set you up with opportunity, because I'm taking this more so as opportunity. Cups can represent people, or they can represent opportunities, at least in my opinion anyways, darling. I know some people would argue, but in this sense, this is your spirit guides, your ancestors being like, look, Gemini, like, we're trying to give this to you. We're trying to set you up onto this new path, which is why the Page of Wands is present here. The Page of Wands is new opportunity. Quite literally, it's think about it like where, in like those game shows where it's like, what's behind door number 1, door number 2. It's almost as if you're having door number one or door number two being presented to you that wasn't there before. And that's what they're trying to give to you. You may not know what's behind it initially, but your ancestors are quite literally saying, just like, you take this, right? Quite literally. And so for you, Gemini, during this week, I really do feel as if, like, yeah, you guys gotta have to just let go of something and go into a new path. This is kind of like, this is where you take your exit, darling, right? You've been going down this one path with a bunch of people for a while, but Fool card in the back of the deck, darling. Yeah, this is where you take your exit. This is where you branch off from the crowd and do your own thing. This is not a message that I'm really happy in saying, obviously, because it doesn't make me like, you have your reasons, right? But I never like hearing, like, having these type of impressions. But I do feel as if some of you Geminis might be like leaving like a marriage, leaving like some type of long-term commitment, relationship. So I just feel as if you guys are leaving something behind, and that's partly, that would make sense as to why some of you guys have been fighting for this for so long, to just keep it going and trying to change the events. But it's like one of those things that you can't change, which sucks in one regard, obviously, right? It's never a happy time when someone that you committed to and really put your heart and soul into, that you invested a lot of energy into, Seven of Pentacles, right? It's never a happy time when something like that happens, but it's time for you to go. Knight of Wands, it's time for you to go. This is your time to leave. And think about it in this way, Gemini. Even though this old situation here provided for you at one point, and it made you happy, imagine how much happier you're going to be with a situation that's more fitting for you in the now. So while, if you've been having thoughts, or just like that's like the obligation that you've been having, Gemini, where it's like you don't want to walk away from this because of like how much you've committed to this, how much work you put into this, take as whatever comfort that you can get from a man reading some tarot cards, and that you're not being selfish, you're not being any type of way, in a negative way at least, by you making the choice and walking away from this. I feel like this is kind of meant to happen. It's meant for you to go into this new chapter entirely. That's why the Fool card is associated with the number 0, Gemini. Last cards, the Hermit card, the Death card, as well as the Ten of Cups. Yeah, Gemini, you guys are leaving something that was in like your special. I would not be surprised if it's like a relationship or a marriage. It does not make me happy in saying that, honestly. Cups do represent jobs as well, though, or opportunities. Again, I want to point that out. But Hermit card and the Death card, yeah, this is quite literally a message of where it's just like you guys are ending something and you guys are riding it solo for a little bit, Gemini. It does not make me happy whatsoever seeing this type of setup. Obviously, it's not me creating this scenario for you, so I shouldn't be feeling bad, but it does just bum me out, because it's like I do see you guys just having cared so much for this, and it's never a good feeling when you have to walk away from something that you invested so much time and energy and love into, right? So Gemini, let's get into how people are perceiving you at this time. So this is not going to be meant to resonate with everybody, darling, and that's okay. I'm going to talk about the attributes that I get from this person. And if it's fitting for someone in your life, then that's perfect. That's lovely. If it isn't, then that's fine as well. We're going to be seeing how they're perceiving you, Gemini. This could be in regards to your twin flame, soulmate. You put in the adjective, darling, right? So we have the Empress card coming in for you, Gemini. The Nine of Cups. The Three of Swords. And then the Emperor card. Oh, Gemini. The Empress here and the Emperor here. Man, and you have the Three of Swords here, the Nine of Cups, baby. This is definitely someone that you, like, this is giving me very much so, like, best friend energy, family, like, this is family, like, it's, like, sibling energy. This is giving me very much so, very close, right? This is literally divine counterpart, right? I really do see, like, this is a situation with the Three of Swords here. There's the pain. Man, Gemini, this is definitely speaking to those that are, like, in, like, some type of committed situationship. The Star card coming in here with the Sun card coming in here, as well as the Six of Pentacles coming in here. So this is giving me a situation of where their intent behind this, Gemini, is like, I see them, I don't know what happened in y'all's situation, right? And I don't want to know because that's your business, right? But I see this as a situation, and I'm not telling you what to do, free will and all that, darling, right? I see this as a situation where with this person, they themselves also acknowledge that you are their person, and they really associate you being their world, quite literally, with the star card and the sun card here. And so I do definitely feel like this is a week where they're going to be trying to make things work. Six of Pentacles here. This is a sense of like giving of their time, really trying to do what they need to do. But for many of you guys, I'm just hearing like too little, too late, Gemini. So it's such a bummer. I'm so sorry that I had have this such a heavy reading for you guys, Gemini. Right? I'm sorry of like whatever hurdles that y'all are going through at this time, but I do know that it's like setting you up for something that's best for you, right? That's why you're going into you're starting your full journey. And I know how scary and intimidating that can be, especially if you have been sharing your journey for such a long time, and now you have to take your exit and go off alone and be that hermit, right? But yeah, death card, like it's just this is your time to ride solo, Gemini. So I love you so much, Gemini. I'm wishing you all the luck. If I could give you a hug, I would. If you would like to book a private personal reading with me, my website's linked down below, SimplyVelca.com. Next to my social medias, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that being SimplyVelca. And yeah, be sure to check out your monthly tarot reading if you haven't already, Gemini, and I will connect with you sometime in the near future. I love you so much. Good luck, Gemini.